Finally, the YouTuber and movie curse has hopefully been lifted, with the boys from RackaRacka bringing us an electrifying horror movie by A24. Not usually one for demonic possession movies. I mean, look at my Insidious review. However, I think Talk to Me does the concept so incredibly well and brings a unique spin to the subgenre that makes for such an interesting and engaging watch. As soon as you see the A24 logo, you know you're in for a ride. This film is designed to uncomfort you. There's some pretty vile stuff here, but for some reason the audience I was with was laughing at some of those scenes. I ignored this though, as I remember laughing at something disturbing is usually a common response to fear. It shouldn't come as a surprise, but the gore in this film is done really well, which is something RackaRacka always excelled at in their content. I, for one, never really watched too much of their videos, but of course I knew about their infamous Ronald McDonald videos. The effects here are great, and when it's mixed in with some really good sound design, it makes it even more uncomfortable. The cinematography in this is truly such a triumph. There's so many interesting shots, especially when people are getting possessed in this. I haven't seen anyone shoot a possession scene like this in a horror movie before, so it was welcome to see. The movie takes place in modern day, so it has a really big social media aspect to it. Whenever possessions are happening, people are pulling out their phones and posting it online. So seeing that is pretty sickening because it's pretty realistic, which is why this film works, because it commentates on this concept. And at the start of the movie, our main character Mia is trying to talk to people and they're all preoccupied on their phones. So the title of the movie being Talk to Me became very literal in that sense. I just thought it was a pretty smart idea that the filmmakers kind of made a double entendre for the title. The film does have the modern horror problem of having moments of pretty cheap jump scares. However, this time most of them don't work, but the occasional ones are actually pretty well done. They didn't get me, of course, but I commend the effort for these specific ones for actually doing something pretty creative. The acting from everyone is pretty good. The main girl does a great job switching from a victim to genuinely seeming so manic and frightening when getting possessed, which made for an engaging watch. Everyone else did a really good, convincing job that'll have you sympathizing with the characters. What's great is that they're written smartly as well. This isn't filled with a bunch of dumb decisions. Another thing that was appreciated was the dialogue. This film is written so well. All the teenagers in this movie actually talk like fucking real teenagers. It doesn't feel like it's written by a group of middle-aged white men trying to pander to a demographic they're so disconnected with. If you're a horror fan, you'll get so much out of this. It's so thrilling and creepy, and it's filled with tons of tense moments. I could see some people even being genuinely pretty scared by this. The film isn't filled with an abundance of gore, but the moments it has, like I said earlier, is done so incredibly well. So if that's your thing when it comes to horror films, you'll enjoy that too. This also has genuinely one of the best endings in a horror movie I've seen in probably a long time. Just from the way it's shot to the way everything is executed, it really keeps you on your toes for what's going to happen, and when you figure out what is happening, it makes everything, not only does it immediately make sense, but it makes the scene all that much better. I'm giving Talk to Me 4.5 stars. A truly gripping and creepy thrill ride, which finally does the possession genre justice. The boys at RackaRacka have single-handedly made the horror from the Insidious franchise feel like an episode of The Annoying Orange. This is incredibly worth your time if you're a horror fan and a film fan, and if horror is not your thing, then this is still worth checking out, because it could open you up to a world of terror, as it's a great new entry point, honestly.